Hello, I'm Kim McGreevy from the Dixon United Methodist Church. This is the daily devotional for Friday, November 26th. I hope everyone had an enjoyable Thanksgiving. And now, as Thanksgiving is over, maybe you, like I, are anticipating another upcoming holiday, Christmas. Well, today's story is a story for Christmas, or at least getting ready for Christmas. And it involves a couple, perhaps not the couple you first think of when you think of Christmas, Mary and Joseph. No, this is a story of Elizabeth and Zechariah. And the Gospel of Luke tells us about Elizabeth and Zechariah. They were an older couple. Zechariah is a priest. And Elizabeth and Zechariah loved the Lord and were righteous in his eyes, and they had never had any children. They were unable to have children, and now they're in their old age, so they weren't really expecting to have any children. Zechariah's turn to work in the temple came along, and so he left for the temple and was there doing his duties. While he was there, something quite amazing happened. He was visited by an angel, and he was alone in burning some incense, and an angel appeared to him. Wow. He was, what do you think? Most people, when they see angels, he was frightened. He was startled and afraid. But the angel said, "Don't be afraid. I have brought you some really good news. You and your wife Elizabeth are going to have a child, and this child is going to be a joy to you. You are going to name this child John, and this child is going to be very important and have an important mission from God. He's going to be filled with the Holy Spirit even before he's born, and he is going to prepare the people for the coming of the Lord." Well, you'd think Zechariah would be so excited. He's going to have a child. But instead, what does he feel? He feels doubtful. He says to the angel, "I'm old. How is this going to happen? My wife and I, we've never had a child. How can we have a child now in our old age?" The angel says, "All right, look here, Zechariah. I am Gabriel. I'm pretty important. I have the attention of God. I stand in his presence. And he has told me to send you this good news. And if he says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And because you've doubted what God has promised, I'm afraid you're going to not be able to speak until the event takes place." So poor Zechariah was left speechless at this thing that happened. Meanwhile, he's been in the temple for quite some time. The angel goes away. And he goes out. People are, "Where have you been, Zechariah?" But of course, he's frustrated because he can't tell him what's happened. He's been left speechless because he doubted that the angel was telling him something and that God could actually do this amazing thing in his old age. Well, the people knew something important had happened. In fact, they think he must have had a vision from God. And he went home to Elizabeth when his job was done. And of course, he couldn't exactly tell her of the news. Perhaps he could motion or write it down. But lo and behold, indeed it did come true. And soon Elizabeth was with child. She was pregnant. So what God had promised had indeed come true. Now, this is not the end of the story, but that's the end of the story for today. So tune in next time when we'll hear some more of the story on our way to Christmas.